All right, hello and welcome to the lower semifinals, the third to last. Third to last? Second. I don't know how that actually works. The third to last, I'm going to say it that way. Best of 5 of MSI 2024. T1 take on G2 in the rematch. It's the only rematch we've had so far. And it was extremely unlikely to happen. Both of these teams, I guess, technically, logistically, it was designed to be as difficult as possible to get a rematch. You would have to run the gauntlet to meet each other in the lower bracket semifinals, the final match before top 3, and both of these teams have done it. The journey here, very different for these two teams. G2 lost to T1 in the upper bracket quarterfinals 3-2. It was as close as you could get. And then T1 3-1 by BLG. And then they 3-1 TL in an uncomfortably close series. G2, on the other hand, 3-0, 3-0. They haven't lost since game 5 against T1. They 3-0'd PSG Talent. They 3-0 Top Esports in a bit of an upset. And now we meet again. The 6th international meeting between T1 and G2, between Caps and Faker. 6th best of 5 meeting. They've met a plenty of other times in the former group stages of these tournaments. And this one matters even more. T1 may have gotten the first blood on G2 this tournament to tip the all-time best of 5 in their favor. 3-2 now. But and it's 11-9 now. Is Oriana going to go over to Faker? And that's not a good sign. And we'll get to the mid lane matchup in a minute. But G2 looking to even up this series, or even up the all-time best of 5 score. They're looking to tie up the game score, and they are looking to get the last laugh and knock T1 out of MSI and make LEC's first top 3 finish since they won. Or, well, since they lost at Worlds. And it's going to be Hans Sama on the Draven in response. And you all know who it's going to be in the hand, or the series going to be in the hands of Faker and Caps. We saw it in the first series. These two guys are the centerpieces of these teams, and they are the reason they can perform as well as they are. The rest of the players, insanely talented, of course, but they are built around the mid lane core, and they're gonna slam the Poppy for Mickey immediately. Poppy terrorizing G2's opponents right now. Mickey's only lost once on it. Broken Blade yet to lose on the Poppy. And it's going to be the Kalista Renata. They don't give a damn. Take the Poppy. We beat you in game 5 when you got it. We'll do it again. T1 unafraid of G2. They're more worried about Yike and Broken Blade getting the Zac and the Rek'Sai. And Cap's going to be on the LeBlanc. Of course, Faker's signature champion, but Cap's also insanely good at the LeBlanc himself. So both these players super well versed in this matchup, and it's gonna be incredible to see them throw hands again. And it really is going to come down to this mid lane. Even no matter what, it will come down to these mid laners, man. I swear. No matter what they do, it will come down to this. Like Caps and Faker. These two teams are built for them. They've been built for them. For Faker, this team has been built for him for 11 years now. For Caps, I believe he's been on G2. 2016 is when he left Fnatic. So 8 years now, Caps has been on G2. Nidalee taken away from Yike. The Nidalee has been impressively good, undefeated at the tournament. I believe 3-0 entering today. It wasn't Yike who brought it out, I believe. 2 of them, obviously, Canyon. 3 of them now, Canyon? 3 wins for Canyon. Nidalee's 4-0. 3 wins for Canyon. Game 5 against Top Esports. Games 2 and 3 against Billy Gaming. And Xin Zhao going to be taken away now from G2. I don't remember who won the other game. Wasn't Yike. Wasn't Owner. It's not TL. There's no way Umti. I love Umti. He didn't do it. Lee Sin taken away from Yike now. And they're focusing on banning him out for the most part. Both sides need a jungler here. And this is likely going to be G2 slamming their jungle. They have the Sedge available to them. I don't think they want it, though. What else could it be? Yike does have a Viego. I don't know if he wants the Jarvan here. Maokai's not going to be the option. Oh. Kha'Zix going to be locked in. Apparently, according to the casters, Yike plays this champion a lot. I don't follow EMEA Master, so I never tuned in really or know a lot of the players coming into LEC from the EMEA Master scene. But apparently, he was a Kha'Zix player. Of course, if you remember, T1 up 2-1, game 4, Kha'Zix slammed by Canyon, and he is an integral part of sending Gen G to game 5. And that's going to be the Camille insta-locked for Zeus right there. And Sedge for Owner. This is a pretty solid comp that T1 have gotten themselves. G2 are going to need to dig themselves out of a bit of a draft hole, I think. And Jax would be an interesting lock-in here. It's a bit of a favored it's a bit of a 50-50 matchup. If you can time your hook shots well, you can actually completely counter the counter, funnily enough. But you can get rid of the counter by just jumping into him and running away. But Broken Blade can read both parts of the hook shot and get the stun off instead. Camille generally... I don't know if Camille generally wins these matchups. I don't know, actually, if Camille historically wins these matchups or not. I really only know it from a bit of a solo queue perspective. It's been a long time since both of these champions were meta at the same time, okay? And even when Camille was meta, for a while it wasn't even in top lane. Because Aatrox existed and everyone played her in... Well, it was more of a flex pick, but... I think G2 draft again more like G2, but I think it's still T1 who get the better of them in the draft explicitly. Directly in the draft. I'm not going to say gameplay because T1 have outdrafted some teams and lost, and they've been outdrafted and won games. T1 coming into this shaky as hell, too. Like, they struggled against Team Liquid. G2 were not even worried about top esports. They didn't even give them a chance in their series, so... the momentum could not be more shifted here. G2 coming in as, I guess, maybe favorites? It's kind of hard to say any team here is favorite. Because, I mean, I think it's really split. G2 coming in playing better, but T1 have the higher potential to just be better on any given day, even ignoring previous form. And I hope this is a 3-2 because that would be... just the best showing of these two teams' capabilities is another 3-2. Is both these teams are hungry, they know how to win, and they kind of know how to play each other very well, actually. They have a history of playing each other. And T1 have been waiting for this for a while. And now G2 have been waiting for this for a week. We're into game number 1. It is win or go home time. Will T1 return to top 3 at MSI, or will G2 bring Europe to their best performance in 5 years on the international stage? Been a long time coming for the LEC. And for T1 specifically, it's now 7 years of waiting. Before last year's Worlds, their most recent championship, 2017 MSI. It has been a long time since T1 have claimed the crown as the best team in the spring. Yike not spotted, but now going to spot out Owner. And they're going to spot out Yike Broken Blade might come down here to back up his jungler, but Yike is just leaving, it seems. Caps unanswering. Could go for a wraparound, but Yike's just gonna have to leave. And now everybody here, I don't think Broken Blade's stealing this. Yeah, Broken Blade not gonna steal this. The lane swap has been initiated by T1. And so we're gonna not actually see this Camille play against anybody. Keria and Zeus now. It's gonna be a triple jungle for T1. Keria eventually going to roam up back to lane with his ADC. As Yike has been spotted. Broken Blade spotted now. It shouldn't really be anything crazy. This is not anything new at all. We've seen this from both sides. Zeus is here. They know Broken Blade's here. Faker just grabbing that level 2 now. I don't see an angle where T1 really go for this play. They don't know Broken Blade's still here. He could be anywhere. They just knew he was there at some point. But Hans Sama, perfectly fine with this. Allows him to stack a lot, actually. He's pretty okay with this. Allows him to stack his Faker. Going to get jumped on by Caps, but it's about even in health right now. Both at around 400. Ooh, Faker at 400. Caps just below 400. But nothing really insane coming out. If Broken Blade just keeps hanging around without being spotted as Caps going to land the damage, if he can land the chain, maybe it would swing this massively in his favor, but Faker just gonna not. Caps never throws out the chain, just lets it happen as the lane swap has been called off. Okay. As where the okay, Guma's covered up. I literally could not see Guma under Carrier's icon there. Actually covered. But TP for TP in the mid lane. Cap's going to have a significantly better reset. A control ward and a refillable for Faker. Amp Tome refills for Caps. Bit more valuable. Zeus only has hookshot, and that's what I was talking about. The stun can just cancel the hookshot away if it's too far. And that means that Broken Blade could really do some damage here in lane if he knows what he's doing. And he does, obviously. Caps, Faker trading again, and Faker is just going to continue to be worse for wear. Just doesn't have the damage yet to really hit Caps hard. He's trying to trade him back. As, ooh, pops the disguise. As there's the stun coming through onto Broken Blade. The jungles have pretty much reset. Lanes have reset as well. This is a pretty standard. I mean, now we're back to just standard laning entirely. As Broken Blade and Zeus just going to keep hitting each other over the head. Otherwise, nothing really crazy. CS diff not as bad, or the XP disparity not as bad in top lane because they actually called off the lane swap super early. There's the tactical sweep. Nice to get another turret shot down. Zeus, it's still very hard to go for this because he has to worry about the counter always being there until he knows he can get it down. Pretty much can never engage onto Broken Blade at the moment. Broken Blade has no reset, or has no teleport available, so Zeus does kind of need to crash this wave in so we get back. You can't make Broken Blade miss anything here, though. As there's the jump onto Faker from Caps. Health traded back in kind, and there's the clone out again. Owner going to grab first Drake for himself. G2 just not in time. It's a good start for T1. Gold dead even, though. This is gonna be a bit tense. Oh, Yike unspotted. He could get Faker here. Shockwave available for Faker. This is a very dangerous play. There's no hard CC. There's only a root available, which means Faker would always be able to throw down his ultimate. And there's no way Yike and Caps both survive this. So Yike's just gonna go for the first set of grubs. And let Caps continue to get a little beat up by Faker. Caps has a pretty big range advantage. Faker would need to burn flash to get Caps down if Caps just plays at his safest. And pretty much only does what he needs to. As Owner is up here now. Owner needs to be pretty careful, even with Faker nearby. Faker low on mana, and Broken Blade's already here, so there's a full rotation advantage over Zeus. Sorry, I just beat the hell out of my mic really quickly with my elbow. Carry just gonna cancel this reset. Mickey going to let a stun. Carry just kind of face checking here. Mickey doesn't really have anything, and there's no handshake for Carrier, so both supports just gonna take a reset. That was a pretty weird trade. Really interesting play. Owner gonna steal away these camps unspotted. No vision from G2 on their own Raptors here. Caps just never threw the ward down. Lane swap reinitiated by G2. All right. Do T1 need to really respect it? They already have Guma down bot side, so yes. I'm gonna say because Zeus has teleport, they could, but they really don't want to at this lane state. Guma not really in a spot to reset and walk topside yet. But Zeus already rotating down to the bot lane, and it should be T1 just taking their backs and calling it. Cap's going to grab a turret plating. So is there a gold advantage yet? No. Pretty even. Dead even in CS. The gold lead's not even 100 still for these two, as Cap's going to get a pretty decent chunk taken out of him. Also, Hansama grabbing a turret plating up in topside. Starting to grab that gold diff, as there's the jump from Caps onto Faker, but Faker's able to trade back pretty consistently. Han's going to grab a second plating. Mickey going to steal some money. Okay. Lane swap returns. Fade's call a bit less valuable at this moment for G2 or for T1 compared to just a whirling death being available. As it's a miss from Zeus. But there's the stun. The Glacial Prison goes down. I don't think it's gonna matter. Oder picks up first blood. A bit of a misplay there by Zeus, but it's okay. They get the response. Yike gonna take this time to steal the blue buff away. As good damage onto Mickey, actually. Faker's here. Yike has to run. Yike can't really afford to flash away because Faker was there, but Faker going to actually play a bit more of a safe position in case of emergency. Jump over from Mickey. T1 going to still win out that trade. They get the flash off of Yike in exchange for an ignite from Carrier. I don't think that's worth it. And this is... So Zeus knows there's no... But he flashes... It wasn't going to reach anyways. He was actually out of range the whole time. But knows the counter's down, so he's able to go for the hook shot. Owner goes for the double stun. It's the simplest tech in the world, and it's the easiest tech in the world because you just have a Camille. Have a melee champ. That is the thing about the double melee, is they have such a good Camille. They have someone to set up the permafrost stacks for Owner. As here's the Unleashed Teleport, probably coming back from Faker. Yeah, just instantly going to throw it. Slam it down, call it a day. As they can jump out of Broken Blade here. Counter-Strike, extra damage for Broken Blade. A little bit of extra damage, just getting what he can with the Rend. As there's the flashy from Mickey, and Zeus is just gonna fall here. Wait, Mickey, so low, but there's no chance. No Hextech ultimatum. There's no chase on to Mickey. Great steadfast presence there. As Caps takes a huge chunk of damage. He's trying to do what he can here. He's going to be able to trade back Faker. That's a lot of damage. Void Grubs go over to G2. They give over the Ocean Drake in exchange. Ulti down to bot lane. They're going to actually try and either snipe Faker or snipe the wave here to deny as many platings. That's going to kill the whole wave. T1 not able to get as much as they can. Their push is slightly weakened. They're just going to push forwards here as they can. Handshake, stun onto Mickey. Not gonna come through. Guma stunned up now. And there's the ejection from Broken Blade. They probably could have killed there, but just get everyone out is the smart play as well. And T1 commit everything. G2 commit everything as well, but that's 2 ultis for 3. I guess technically if you count the Whirling Death, which wasn't in the fight. T1 trying their damnedest as Faker just gonna position closer to the turret. There's a lot of damage. Caps already has his item finished. Faker needs to just respect that. Can't really afford to not. Needs to respect the fact that there is a very scary man who could one-shot him here. Is Yike not going to get a single thing off of this steal, as trying to get Faker here. They'll get more damage down. Faker going to be able to reset, but this is going to be another turret over to Hansama. He's getting pretty strong right now. Nope, not going to grab it. Just going to miss it. Another plating over to T1 as well. They're trying to keep pace with G2 here. It's going to be really difficult to do. Caps jumping in, dodges Shockwave, but he doesn't have the damage to finish the job. Unfortunately, Faker going to be able to survive with a sliver of health. Second turret will fall to Hansama eventually. And Hans getting a big lead is going to be important. Through platings and an assist. A lot of money ahead as they're looking for Caps here. There's the flash. There's the Hextech ultimatum. And there's Zeus picking up claps. Zeus goes for another E. Not an E flash, but actually just went for an E with a follow. Mickey threatening owner there a little bit. Doesn't really get anything out of it. Mickey unspotted. As there's the Hex Flash, there's the E, but Guma's just going to run. He's not even going to auto. As Whirling Death not going to connect with Guma. They will at least force a reset out of Guma soon enough. And put themselves in a really good spot to fight for this Rift Herald, actually, yeah. Nothing T1 can really do. G2 have 4 members in this top river right now, and Caps should have teleport, actually. Won't even need it. Very likely. T1 are starting this. But G2 are going to be quick to respond here. They have Faker coming in. Faker has Shockwave. Faker way over the wall and just going to zone off Hansama. They need a zone off Yike here, as there's a good amount of damage already going out. The ejection going on to Carrier. And so hostile takeover gone. It's going to be coming down to a smite fight. There goes Mickey, but the smite's going to go in favor of Yike. Broken Blade gets shockwaved and he's going to fall. Yike is going low. He's trying to jump onto Faker. And Faker able to flash away, but there's no one to save him from the bailout. Hans doesn't have the damage. Zeus cancels the Draven. And Carrier's dead. Carrier actually dodging away for a long time, but I don't see Carrier surviving this for too long. Flash for flash, or not even flash for flash, just gets the flash. There's the Sigil of Malice recast. And Caps is going to find this one, as there's the re-engage from Zeus. And Guma is going to pick up that one. And a good teleport there from Zeus. Carrier actually buying enough time for that to happen, but Draven actually gets the cash out. I didn't know if Hans got it or not. And now 2,000 gold ahead on the Draven. But this all starts. Carrier, not who you want to hit. They do also get the Rift Herald here. But Guma instantly just deletes Mickey. Guma getting chased. Just dies as well. And then, oh no, Faker dies. Guma just surviving on 1 health. I don't know how. And then Hans already got his cash out, so close, but Zeus actually has the auto resets already available. It's kind of nuts. And Drake is available. This is soul point for T1. They need to try. They might want to try and grab this. It's up to them. They have all their ultis available again, except for Ultimatum. G2 also have all their ultis available, though, so they need to be aware of this. As T1 gonna start it. Caps has teleport if he wants to come in. And Broken Blade could just walk up from bot lane, but they're not showing yet. Hans is not here, and G2 not going to go for this, and it's going to be soul point for T1. The gold still 1,000 in favor of G2 right now. It is a combination of Caps and Hans make up the gold lead. Hans actually only makes up about 500 of the gold diff. The rest of the gold diff is made up by Caps. Or you could do it the other way. There's that is the way you could do it. There's that. Pretty much compared to Zeus, they are only ahead 1,000 because Zeus is making up the gold diff right now for T1. They're going to get this Rift Herald charge and the first turret in mid. Could be a lot of value, actually. Kevin's not really going to do much damage. That is pretty minuscule damage. But just keep getting Hans fed. 2,500 gold ahead. He's a half item ahead at the moment. Going to be a full item ahead soon. If he has anything to back for. And he's pretty much a full item ahead. Full 2 items ahead. That has to be 1. Okay. So, about a 1.5 item lead for Hans right now. It is so close. Owners here should be able to grab this turret before Broken Blade even responds. G2 coming down to the bot lane. And grabbing control there. T1 still kind of looking for answers. Though they've been winning the fights against G2. This is narrow. And now the gold diff is even entirely in this top and bot lane. The gold diff is now on the backs of Yike and Caps. We're still on the back of Hansama. Again, depends on how you rearrange the gold, but they are fully matched by Zeus right now over Broken Blade. And Broken Blade's not going to really do much. That's not a thing. You usually draft Jax to have the diff made for you. As Yike jumps in, steals the Gromp. Is he going to be able to survive? There's the ulti coming out. And they're going to lock down Yike with the shockwave. Zeus going in onto Hansama. He's not going to be able to get onto him, though. He's going to get shut down. Han's going to cash out. But there's Guma finding Hans as he goes on a kill spree. Broken Blade running away. Caps able to use the double deceive. But there's the smite going down. He's slowed. And the shot, the handshake backwards just in case. And Guma's on a rampage as he takes down Caps. He takes down Hans. And this is T1 shutting the gold diff completely down. This game is even at 20 minutes. And it starts, Yike steals this, but there's the lockdown. Carrier with a really good hostile takeover to completely remove Hans. But this engage doesn't use the ultimatum. He's late on it. He needs to use that Hextech ultimatum if they want to get Hansama down as fast as possible. Broken Blade able to run away. Mickey's able to run away. But Caps burns his flash. Deceive 1. Doesn't come back. Carrier was right there. And of course it goes to Guma. And almost 3,400 damage from Guma Yushi right there. That is the value of this Kalista for T1. And he's a full item behind still. But the gold lead, 500 in favor of T1 right now. Oh, is it 600? 500. Lies to me. And it's soul point right now. 35 seconds for T1 and G2. Are they going to fight over this? Drake and Baron up. I don't see G2 or T1 going for the Baron yet. Though T1 have a history of course, flipping Baron at 20 minutes. They've done it before. They have a history of doing it. They love making teams fight into them after they've set up for a surprise Baron attempt. But not going to happen. They have the threat of the Drake Soul. They can actually just afford to try and go for it if they want. As they're not going to stop Caps from backing and TPing back in. But in kind, Faker going to be able to back and TP. But if he keeps pushing these waves, and actually, Caps can't really afford to reset yet. And Hans going to start this Drake. Oh, that looks like a 3D failure on the wards. And now started from G2. And it's going to be taken by G2 as well. Hans going to secure it. Guma needs to run. The Glacial Prison not going to connect. The hostile takeover is huge. And here comes Zeus wiping out Hans Sama. But is it going to be enough? He will get him down. And that's all the damage G2 have gone. Double for Zeus coming in off the flank. And Guma's going to clean up Broken Blade. Caps, Faker fighting right now. They're trying to keep each other from leaving. And T1 are rolling. They lose the Drake. They win the fight. It is Baron o'clock for the world champions. As Caps spotted out, Carrier getting shredded. Caps deceives back away from the ulti from Faker. Yike forced to back off. There's no big disengage tool right now for T1, but they're just going to try it. As that's the clone for Caps. Getting beat up by T1. Yike still has the ability to jump in. Here comes Zeus on the return trip, though. The Baron for G2 would be the entire game flip. 3,000 gold behind. They're trying to just time it. Over the wall. Mickey stops Zeus from going in. Yike is going down. He smites it. It doesn't get damaged. T1 put a foil to G2's plans. And it is T1. They battle back from a small gold deficit. And now they lead by 5,000. They surrender this dragon for Zeus to get an Unreal Engage. He's not spotted. The smaller vision cone from the blue wards. And then the ulti onto Hans Sama. The immediate follow-up here from T1. They want Hans gone. They get him. Zeus over the wall. Can't get the kill. The Pierce from Guma will pick it up as Guma is 6-0 in game number 1. He is doing fantastically. He's doing so well for himself here. Zeus, the difference maker in this game right now. He is an issue G2 need to deal with, and he is causing them the most problems. Absolutely huge for T1. As this is going to be another turret going down. This one, the top tier 2. All the tier 2s gone. G2 in the base now. And they've got to find a way to battle back as Broken Blade going to get jumped on. And there's the follow over the wall. Does Zeus just have this? Broken Blade ultis. He's just chunking him. He killed him from a quarter with 1 Q. And Zeus is fed. The Jax continues to just not be a factor in this game. Zeus doesn't fear him anymore. He never feared him in the first place, it seems. This is just gonna keep going as all those recall cancels did not come through. There's the cancel on the dash from the Steadfast Presence, though. Oh, man. This is going to be crazy. G2 on their... just on the back foot by a lot. 7,000 gold behind. Caps goes over the wall. Nothing going to get caught out of it. There's the Glacial Prison. Point blank from Owner. And that's going to be first turret falling on the base. The minions doing a lot here. Zeus just needs 1 Q on this turret and it's gone. And he's going to get it. And that's 2 base turrets gone. Mickey solo cancels the dash. Is he going to survive the ignite? He won't. Renata. That's Carrier getting the kill. And now onto the Nexus turrets. The minion waves are starting to come in for T1. There's the jump onto Zeus from Broken Blade. And now going forwards, Zeus, Hextech Ultimatum onto Hansama, 3-man tactic, hostile takeover, 3-man shockwave. It is just Caps, and it's not enough. Double kills out the wazoo for T1 as they roll game number 1. Mickey coming in to try and get some stats. Doesn't give the double ace to T1, but he will give over the Nexus as T1 make a statement in game number 1. Woo! And the doubts of T1, if they keep playing like this, the doubts are going to be dashed real quick. Just real quick, those doubts will be dashed if T1 play like they just did for the rest of this tournament, because that was a phenomenal game to kick off this series. G2 started us off with a nice control early, but G2 are G2, and that means their mid game falls apart. It is a G2 thing. They are still working on fixing that mid game, and hopefully they will get it, because oof. And yeah, outdrafted them. The Draven got ahead. Broken Blade got super ahead. He didn't even kill anyone until, oh my god, he didn't even kill anyone until that Herald fight. Seriously, dude didn't kill anyone until Herald spawn. He just got 2,000 gold ahead. Oh. Sorry. He got like 1,500 gold ahead off turret plates alone. They were even in CS. He just had turret plates and 2 turrets killed to his name. And that was absolutely huge, but they just didn't get anywhere else. Jax never got online. Kha'Zix never got online. Mickey was fine, but Mickey really can't make the difference all on his own. He needs help. Like, their wins against T1 were definitely helped by Mickey having an incredible series. But it was not just all Mickey. He's a Poppy. He's a full tank Poppy. He can't kill things on his own. He's a low econ Poppy as well. He really needed one of the carries to just get a lot more fed. Yike really didn't do anything on the Kha'Zix. Broken Blade fell behind super early and just never recovered. And Hansama can't do it by himself. He was the only damage dealer on the team, so I mean, Caps also was doing a lot of damage, yes, but Caps really wasn't the focus either. Hans was the threat. T1 got on him, whether it was with the Hextech Ultimatum, with the Arctic Assault, or a handshake, or whatever they could get their hands on. Literally anything they can get their hands on to get onto Hansama, they would do. And G2 just didn't have a plan for that. Besides throw steadfast presence, hope it works, and it never worked. Just G2. They just need to fix their fights. They're so discoordinated. Yeah, they're showing a fight. They're showing the Gromp fight, which is what it really was Gromp fight. And T1 just destroy G2 because Yike goes in by himself and the rest of G2 just gets zoned. The rest of G2 just gets zoned off by the fact that the hostile takeover exists, and all of them were on the wrong side of the jungle, so none of them were prepared for a fight, and there's really nothing G2 could do. Yike, least damage on the team, second least in the game. He only outdamaged Carrier, who's playing an Enchanter, who's playing a catcher champion. And it's really Kha'Zix. I don't know. Did Yike kill anyone? I don't think Yike got a kill this game, which is a huge failure of a Kha'Zix. That's his only thing, is to be an aggressive jungle invading monster. And he just didn't do that. And I think they need to adjust their drafting. I think they should have went with the Viego if they wanted to go with a carry. They really should have. Zeus, 5-2 and 11. This guy was huge for T1. Absolutely a difference maker. And for those who may have believed weakest link, not anymore, even though it's usually Owner. Sorry, Owner. But Owner played phenomenally as well. T1 playing phenomenally right now, and it's going to be hard for G2 to come back from this. So will G2 find a way back into the series, or will T1 head to match point rather quickly? We'll find out as I see you, or I will see you for game number 2. All right, we are back for game number 2. T1 lead 1-0 after a dominant showing in that mid to late game. And we are straight into the draft as it tends to be. Tristana taken away from Caps, and that's going to be Draven slammed again. It did work. I'm not even going to talk trash on it. It worked. It's just G2 misplayed it. G2 did not have a setup for Draven or any real peel for Draven. Ooh. Oh. Pickleball at 5. We ballin'. T1 need to sweep. T1 better sweep right now as they're gonna get the Poppy. Owner Poppy is on the rift, baby. Take it away from G2. Put Owner on Poppy. Today's a good day, man. It's a good day, man. I don't actually think they're going to put Owner. I think it's going to be Gary or Zeus. But who knows? Maybe we see something out of it. I do think it's a bit premature. Poppy, very strong, yes. And with G2, they've been actually utilizing it super well to counter a Cassante or to counter Kalista comps or pretty much any champion, with like every champion in the meta right now, because they all have dashes except for one ADC who does have a dash. Almost every champion has a dash, except for every ADC, except for the one that has a dash. And Nautilus is going to be really good here. Again, going to kind of suck into the Poppy, but it would be good. And this is the angle I think if they aren't going to go for not, this is the angle. Okay, they are going to. Oh, they're going to go for, they're just going to have Yike pick his own champion. This is the angle I think they should have put Yike on. I think if they wanted Yike on a carry with Xin and Nid taken away, I think they go for the Viego. Bel'Veth is not it. Kha'Zix is not it. They go for the Viego, and it works out so well. Yike is... I'm like moving parallel, I'm sorry. But it is maybe his best champion. Like, there is a reason it's so scary on him in his hands, because he's so damn good at that champion. Azir for Faker now. Remember the days when Azir was like the weakness of Faker? Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. Not even close. He's one of the best Azirs in the world. Talia taken away from Caps. It is going to seem like a Cassante angle for G2 as they get rid of the Vayne. Wow. Faker has played a lot of Azir. 163 career games. More than double his next most played at 75. Caps' most played champion is exactly 75 games. This is crazy. Faker's been here for freaking 11 years now, man. He knows. Caps has been here for a long time, too. We started playing like 2015. TF taken away. This is a Cassante angle. G2 are baiting them. G2 could go for bait here, as they're going to get the Cassante. Are they going to slam Broken Blade on the Camille? They did this exact angle. We've seen 2 teams do this exact angle now. We saw BLG get absolutely baited into Cassante. Are they going to go for the Camille here? It's going to be tough to go into Camille, but I think it is going to be a good option. It's going to be the Asol for Caps. And are they going to go for... They're going to go for the Urgot, which I'm still not a fan of. And this is going to be Owner. Oh, it is going to be Owner. Wow. Usually, I never expect Owner to be the one playing these kind of weirder picks. Though he has played Poppy before, of course. But usually, he plays more by the books. Yeah, usually, I expect Owner to be the by the books player. Zeus is the other one I expect to be by the books. But no. Owner's going to be interesting. Area on the Alistar. Very good at the Alistar, man. Very good at Cow. We'll see how good he is on it, as this is going to be a pivotal game of the series. That's kind of the best thing about Game 2 is it's always pivotal. Game 1 is like the least meaningful game of a series, which is hilarious. But the most pivotal is always game number 2. Because these are best of 5s, 3 to win. It's the same reason game 3 is the most pivotal in a best of 7 series. It determines whether someone's going to be going to match point or whether this series is going to go longer than we need. And T1, they got a sea of fans waiting to see if they can go up 2-0 here and put themselves on the verge of a second straight top 3 finish at MSI. I think it might be a little more than second straight. I want to say third. How'd they do at MSI 20? I don't remember MSI 22. Like, MSI 22 is a bit of a blur to me. Was I in hospital for that one? No. I was here. And game number 2. We're ready. They got top 2. Okay, so it would be 2 or 3 now. 1, 2. Oh, yeah, that's right. Damn one. It would be their third straight if they make this top 3. And no shenanigans. It's going to be standard normal lanes. And yeah, nothing crazy. Dude, trying to get a little aggressive here, but T1 not going to let him. They're now pushing in. They're going to get this deep vision here. They're going to spot out Carrier. And T1 do not have the early advantage here. They have maybe better push with the Varus, but that's really it. Carrier's going to have worse engage until level 2. And Mickey's going to roam. Mickey's going to catch out Faker, as that's a flash force. That is huge to start off this game. And that is level 1 on Azir. You can't do anything. You can only have a Sand Soldier. So you're actually forced to kind of just do nothing. As Zeus is just going to get zoned off. He's on the wrong side of the lane. As Broken Blade just going to keep going here. Zeus ghosted this. As there's the flash engage from Broken Blade. And does he get Zeus down? No defensive tools. Nice dancing from Zeus. And he's going to be able to get away eventually. But oh my goodness. Broken Blade has denied Zeus everything there. Guma gonna get hooked. Nice engage by Mickey. Or nice counter engage by Mickey. And that's flash out of carry as well. Oh. Owner. They just jump onto Yike. As flash hook from Mickey goes wide. T1 the pressure's been relieved a little bit for them. As Yike gonna get jumped on. He has nowhere to run. First blood to Owner. Great harass on the invade. And now waiting. This Poppy's waiting. This tiny Yordle's gonna kill a space dragon. Flash for flash. Oh, and Owner able to escape. Is Faker gonna fall here? He's so close. Goes for the kill, and Caps is gonna solo kill Faker again. What? And T1. Oh, no. Oh. That's bad. That's really bad. And Owner doesn't E. I think he could have, but he wanted to save it. Faker There's no damage. And it just got it. It's got the play. Faker went for a big play and just does not pay off all the way. And Owner, just punish Caps here. Caps has no flash. Not gonna happen. He's gonna dodge away from Broken Blade there. Nice. And Zeus has a lead? What? How the heck does Zeus have a lead here? As there's the damage. Faker able to dash away, but there's the flash follow from Yike, and Caps another kill on to the GOAT. And this team, T1, not ready for the aggression G2 are bringing at times. They want Faker down, but we've seen this story before. We've seen this already from them. We saw this game 1 of the tournament. G2 put Faker down 0-2 on the Azir. T1, Faker was pissed off and went 6-0 through the rest of the game. I'm just saying. We saw this already. I don't know if it's going to happen again. It was a very particular scenario that T1 won that game 1. We kind of already saw that in game 1, where it was T1 are behind, finish very ahead, as the engage onto Faye, or trying to get Faker down. Caps gets jumped on. There's the shuffle, and now the breathing from the falling star. There's the fear beyond death from Broken Blade, and there's 4 here to find Owner. Yike gonna grab that one. And T1 cannot do a thing to G2 in mid. They keep going for it, and it keeps falling short. Oh. And there's the Grubs going over to Yike. Zeus can all out him, actually. Owner actually should be able to grab the rest of these, but G2, 1,500 gold ahead, just 7 minutes in. It is going very well for them. We'll see how they do the rest of this, but we've seen this happen before, as there's the engage onto Hansama now from Guma. Ghost out. Whirling Death available for Hans, not chucked out yet. So where is... Oh, they know Faker's coming down. There's no flash available for Mickey, but there's nothing Faker could do. Carrier. This shuffle was good, but there's no follow-up available. Owner's too far away, and he's going to try and save his mid laner, but there's a sniper on the Rift, and his name is Broken Blade. Really, something that really grinds his gears is human flesh and blood. Yeah. And just Faker, only 1,000 gold behind somehow. Only. I actually don't even know how he's only 1,000 behind. It should be more. I'm actually kind of impressed. It's only 1K. Really should be more. As Caps going in, and Faker is able to get away to safety. Caps has flash, so Faker really couldn't go for a play there. And first Drake, is it finally going to fall here? G2 have full mid prio, but they're just going to take this opportunity to send Caps back to base. And follow it up with T1 answering in kind, sending Faker to base. It's going to be boots for Faker. Oh. God, the hair's all... Holy shit. And now, yeah, yike. Just going to grab this first Drake. It is Chemtech. I don't really remember what Chemtech does. I think it's Tenacity and Slow Resist. Don't remember the percentage. That's a number of it. Hans, going to grab that one. And Owner, ooh, Caps has that Rylai's already. That's going to be bad. As he's looking for top lane here, possibly. And now Zeus in a really bad spot. There's the Unstoppable. Is he just going to go all out? He will, and he's just going to get away. Falling Star used. Owner spotted. Oh, no. Yikes, spotted as well. Faker can come up here, but they know Faker's coming up, so they just... T1. No, that's a disengage angle anyways. As there's the jump onto Hans Sama. There's the route, the teleport coming in now from Faker. The drift. And there's just the autos. They're not even going to use the Emperor's Divide. There's the flash cancel coming in from Faker. They're booting him all the way. They want Mickey gone. Oh, that's not good. Mickey. What the? T1. Okay. I got really excited and then I got really not excited. Yeah. What? Mickey! The GOAT! He's going to fall. Is he going to execute in time? Mickey, look out! Eventually, Guma gets his double kill. Not even a double kill. Faker got the first one. Eventually, Guma gets his kill onto Mickey. Holy cow, Mickey. Survivor. G2, grab Void Grubs as well. Oh, yikes, steals away with the Q smite. Void Mites for Yike and G2. This is so G2 sided. The gold lead's cut back to 500,000, but it is still G2 controlling this game. Mickey, you madman. This is insanity. Hans loses all of his stacks, but this is nuts. This is freaking nuts, man. This is going crazy. Are they just gonna look for... No, they're not gonna look for anything. They're just gonna let it happen. This is on hit, not lethality from Guma. He's playing normal Azir. Normal Azir for normal people. For good Season 5 ADC players. All right, Rift Herald in a minute. That's our next objective fight. We'll see if any team wants to go for it on spawn. The issue is this game is even again. On the back of Guma. On the back of Guma. And somehow Zeus. This game is even. Thievery from G2. They stopped being thieves. Kind of. They successfully take some chickens. I don't know how many they... I mean, they got all of them. Mostly. They got the 5 tiny ones. Is Mickey spotted again? Guma's in base. Yeah, not going to be in time. Oh, Jukes. Mickey tried to go for the engage. Didn't really have it. I don't know if you want that engage. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's a great trade to take as Caps going in. Faker jumps to safety. Yike doesn't land. Stun misses. And T1 should actually be in control here, entering this Rift Herald fight. But it's going to be G2. I don't know what happens if you hit the Rift Herald with the hammer. T1 could retake this pretty easily. They're going to be spotted. But here comes the teleports. Broken Blades here. They're looking for caps. There's Mickey. The skies descend. Mickey will fall, but the rest of G2 are fine. Keria looking to just get Owner, throw him around in the bouncy castle. There's caps getting locked down, and it's going to be Owner picking up that one. And T1 win the fight. Zeus. Again, this Zeus guy. So damn good right now. But it's still going to be the Rift Herald for G2. They will give over the Drake in exchange. T1 are fighting back, but G2 are keeping the pressure on. They're making it difficult for T1 to come back clean. And then clears that entire wave. My god. Zeus is barely taking any damage. And just gonna walk away. Good old Cassante. Now that platings are down, Hans should be able to grab this turret with literal no issue. And already starting the drive. It's a bit of a tech, but it's really just knowing your positioning. And G2 should be able to shred this top tier 2 as well. I don't think they get the tier 3. They should probably just back off here. Yeah, they're going to take this Rift Herald and go home. They do give over 2 turrets, but the tier 2 is way more valuable. Tier 2 is worth like double the gold of tier 1s. I think. Outer turret worth. Yeah. Then inner turret worth 675. Yeah, it's worth almost triple, actually. I lied. Almost triple the value for local gold. So a lot. It's worth 700. It was not worth 700 because 3 people killed it, but it's worth a lot still. It's 675 divided by 3, which I don't know the numbers on. A lot of money. Plus 25 for each player. Look at the gold diff. Or not the gold diff. Look at this win prob. It's in favor of G2 right now. Is Keria going to go in? He will jump in onto Mickey, but that's the disengage angle. As there's Owner getting hooked up, but Faker going to get locked down. There's the shuffle, or there's the drift, and he's able to get away. Faker doesn't have flash, and that's on Sama picking up that one. Great play by G2 to punish T1's over aggression, but just what the hell was that? What the hell was that from T1? Just not even a remotely decent angle for them to take, but they went for it anyways. Really shouldn't have, is the answer to the question. But G2 will gladly take it to expand the goal lead to just under 1,500 gold. Oh, the jump in onto Zeus does nothing. It is Asante. Just gotta keep watching the time a little bit. And ahead everywhere where it matters now is G2. Every position that isn't support, they are leading. Zeus doesn't know he's about to get dove. Can't really dive here. Owner getting locked down by Yike and Mickey, though. It's going to be really hard for T1 to cover this turret, and I don't think they should. They have 4 members down here. They just give this turret over and let G2 walk away with it. And they will just give it over about 133, not even about, exactly 133 gold to each of these members. Faker going to try and grab what he can in response, but all 5 members of G2 have come down. And starting this push onto the tier 2 is going to get the teleport out of Broken Blade. All right. So still 1,500 in favor of G2. Can T1 get some answers? They're really starting to stretch that gold thin. It's starting to feel like a problem. Already 2 items, 4 cap. Ugh, God, I like my ear wires get stuck in it. Makes awful noises. Already items behind on Faker and Guma here. And that's not really optimal to have a Draven very ahead of your ADC. But who knows? Baron. Spawning now, but Drake in 20. Not really worth rushing here when you're on Drake in 20 seconds. And 10% combat gold advantage for G2. It's not really good. Carrier finds 2. There's the lockdown coming in. But no one's there. And the death from, or fear beyond death goes through onto Carrier. And G2 would have a Baron angle if they still go for it. There's 4 on that engage. But that's a great Emperor's Divide. The all-out will find one more. But G2, 4v3. They're looking for more. Keeper's Verdict charging up. T1 just unable to pull this fight to dead even. G2 will get the 3rd Drake of the game. And that is so close for T1. So close. Oh. And then just eaten. Carrier tried to go over the wall, get a sick insect. Didn't get it. And then, how does he get in? 3-man WQ. The man's put in the hours on Alistar. And Mickey just able to flash out in time to make this a 2-for-1 in their favor. Look at that damage. Almost 3,500 from Caps. It is going to be a big issue for them. 3-1-5 on this ASOL. Caps is a bit of an issue right now for G2 or for T1 to deal with. Oh, Jock shows for Zeus though. But T1 struggling. Faker getting chunked right there by Caps. Okay. T1 just grabbing control of the river right now. Gary got stunned up by Yike. Really it though. If T1 keeps setting up like this, they could win. They have TP on their carry or on Faker right now, and that's a huge part of their engage. And here comes Faker. Okay. They're starting the Baron. T1 moments are, this is what T1 does. As Mickey getting knocked into everybody. Gets the depth charge off, but he will eventually fall to Faker. And now T1 going to go in. Good buffer there by Broken Blade, but T1 can't really Baron at the moment. They invest a lot into this fight. Can they go in again for Baron? They spot out Carrier. And the stun goes over. And Carrier's just going to wait. Carrier disengaging. And T1 burn only 1 teleport in exchange for Mickey there. T1 play smart. Cut the gold lead to under 1,000 again now. They have put themselves in a great spot somehow. Again. Baker didn't go 6-0, but he has been significantly cleaner since the early game. He still 4-6, but he's been doing a lot. Has the gold in his favor. He's been a busy bee on this side lane. It's been a busy bee elsewhere. Oh, Drake's in a minute and a half. Oh, boy. So Baron not going to be for a while. He is Cassandra, and that did not matter. God, look at his health bar. He's still full health. T1 are just going to keep this pressure on. They're just going to go for it again. T1 just going to go for the Baron again. And Mickey here, yike, ejected, and there's going to be no steal. T1 Baron flip in just T1 fashion. Just go for the Baron. There's the juggle onto Hans Sama. Can they get him down? Faker chasing. He's gonna fall to the burn. It's gonna be a 2-for-1 for T1 now. 3-for-1. Guma gets a shutdown onto Broken Blade. Yike, over the wall. Owner not even gonna bother chasing him. It's Caps running away. T1 are winning, but there's an engage. The skies don't descend, but the stars do fall. Zeus finds, or not Zeus finds anyone. Zeus finds death from Caps. It's a shutdown onto the A-Soul. And T1 get the Baron. G2 answering kind. What a good play there by Carrier. Just wasting Yike's time. They do overextend a little bit. That play onto Caps was a bit iffy, but this engage, Faker determines his life is worth 150 extra gold to grab Hans Sama and end this fight early. And then they just don't get Yike, and then they try to go for Caps. It's not going to happen here. The flash from Caps is perfect. And Zeus is going to die here. $4,000 damage from the Cassandra. Actually, 4,800 damage from Caps. Actually, 4,800 damage from Caps. It's kind of crazy. And the gold is almost dead even. Combat gold, pretty close to as even as it's going to get. Drake started by T1. I don't know if G2 are going to try and answer this. And they won't. Drakes are going to be even. This might not be a Drake soul this game. There might not be one. Whirling Death not in time, and Owner is just able to smite it. And T1 grab one more turret for their troubles. Guma's here, and this turret's gone. Absolutely value for T1 as they now lead by 2,000 gold. After what was a very ugly game. A super ugly early game, pretty ugly mid game, but entering this late game, they are on top right now. Resets out of Zeus and it's like Carrier, not Guma. Guma also going to reset, and 3 items. He's back to even with Hans Sama. Actually ahead. He's going for the GA. Or that's not GA. Steel Sigil would be GA. Actually, Owner doesn't steal away. Poppycopter is an awesome ability name still. Owner not able to steal it away. So blue buff over to G2. Ah, Hans, no boots. He at least has magical footwear, so he gets something. No boots. You don't waste money on boots on Draven. You just really need to go and get your items. Oh, he will actually buy the boots. Boots are such a late buy for Draven in particular. Like, so many champs are like, you need Kalista. Boots are needed to function. Most supports, it's like, your first item should be boots. It's just super valuable. You're a low econ class, and you need free stats. Draven, hey, you can buy boots 5th item. You just never need them. You have W. Ow. You never need them. And it's way more valuable to put all that money into rushes. Very fun. Oh. They're sending everyone at this Cassante right now. Caps can't really afford to ulti. As Zeus just keep running. Slowed again. He's gonna go in. He's gonna use Mickey as an escape route. As there's the all-out. They get the rechase. Actually, Can they get him? They need to put a little more damage onto him. Fear Beyond Death expires, but there's the Singularity picking up the kill. And in this time, T1 pushing out this top turret. That's a lot of money that they get. They really should be fine. 194 gold to 3 members. Oh. Broken Blade. Faker's just waiting. Lying in wait. There he goes. Broken Blade needs to buffer, but there's the buffer, not the one you wanted. Faker gonna keep sending these soldiers at him. Carria's here now. Carria has flash. Oh, what is going on? Owner is being double teamed. Here comes Caps. As there's the flip onto Faker. And Broken Blade should fall to Faker in exchange for Owner falling to Yike. Actually, that was to Caps. Oh. And now pushing in this top lane. T1 it's just a bloodbath. Just side lane shenanigans. Just waiting. Both of these teams trying to size each other up. Figure out where they need to hit each other the hardest. And it has been determined. Just hit each other. They will lose their top laners. Or, well, a top lane in a jungle. Baron in 11 seconds. RG2 going to set up for it. Or they're going to wait a minute for Drake. It is soul point, and that gets you a 30-something minute soul estimate. T1 have so much pressure on this Baron, actually. They had so much pressure despite being behind for an insanely long time. And they're going to just continue to have control here. It's going to continue having control over the Rift somehow. But G2 slowly regaining it. They had Caps pushing top. They're going to have Caps pushing the bot lane. And T1 have to answer to waves. Oh, Caps 4 items now. Faker has the stasis at least. I said stasis. Like, it was so weird. Have stasis on both mid laners. Faker clears out vision in the pit. Are they just going to go for it? And they are. We saw them do this already. Carria is the bouncer as T1 just going to peel back. And Zay's going to start jumping onto Broken Blade. Faker going to join him. And that's actually quite a bit of damage there from Caps coming through. And now Yike stun lands onto Owner. Broken Blade's down 1,000 health already. As there's the hook, but it's on to Zayu, so it's not going to mean a damn thing. And there's the block. Can they turn this into something? Yike trying to run away. And there's the stun onto Yike. That's a lot of damage taken by the jungler of G2. And the 5v5 hasn't kicked off yet. There's the hook. And maybe they found it. They've gotten Faker shut down. They get Hansama in return, though. There's the all-out from Zeus. But they're going to get Owner down. But it's going to be at the cost of Mickey. It's going to be at the cost of Yike. They don't even get Owner in the end. Double kill for Zeus. Double for Guma. And T1 are rolling through G2. Zeus chasing. He wants Caps. But he's not going to get him. The teleport. He's forcing him to path into Carria. But Zeus has zoned off his Caps from the wave. G2, they can't answer. Caps will fall. Zeus picks up the ace. T1 are on the doorstep of game number 2 being over. Can they finish in time is the question now. They have Hans. They have Mickey coming up. No whirling death. They need to shred these Nexus turrets, and I think they've got it. The backup is here. Hans will try to do what he can. Can he find 4? He gets 1. He needs to get Zeus. He has backup again. 2 for Hans. 3 for Hans. The quadra kill for Hans. And this game is still going. Hansama saves G2 from being down 2-0. Are you kidding me? It's Baron time for G2. Hansama has just saved this series. Faker teleporting. He needs 3 autos and he will get them. T1 on the verge of eliminating G2. And it's not even close this time. Faker, playmaker. Are you kidding me? That's how it ends. backdoor teleport. And T1 one win away from BLG. Woo! Again, a woo. That game was incredible. G2 put up one hell of a fight, but T1 are clean. They know what to do, and they get this job done. Oh my god, G2. It was so insane. Hansama, hero play. They go for the Baron, and Faker goes for the back door. Oh, heartbreak for G2. That game was so winnable. Literally one summoner spell. That game is winnable. Oh, no. Oh. Faker, so behind. Like, Faker's been struggling this series. He's been struggling these past two series now, and he's just wins. Oh my god. Faker closed the gold gap with objectives alone. He was sieging for so long. He actually closed the gold lead on caps. And G2, they put so many resources into getting caps into getting caps ahead. He was so fed this game. He was like 6-1-6, 6-2-6 eventually, I guess. But T1 get the Baron. They get the sneak Baron. And that really put them in a really strong advantage because they won the fight that followed that Baron as well. So they had a ton of they just had a massive gold influx that was completely in their favor. And then on top of that, they just keep the pressure on. They just keep sidelaning. They literally just keep sidelaning. They are fine to trade owner if Faker can sidelane. They're fine to trade owner if Zeus can sidelane, or Faker if Zeus can sidelane. And pretty much this game was won on side lanes and objectives. And that was it. It was side lanes and objectives this game. Because T1 were so far behind, they just decided, screw killing. They could have Faker. They could kill Faker all they want. He is 2-6. He's not worth any gold. Screw this. We're going to send Zeus down side lane. We're going to send Faker down side lane. We're just going to blow up some turrets and see what we get for it. And it works. G2 get Faker. Ew. Faker side lanes his ass off. Gets like 3 turrets. No, 2 turrets. Gets the top tier 1 and the bot tier 1 for himself. Farms it up. Gets like 2 shutdowns to him. And keeps it going. And now Faker was super integral in those fights. Got rid of Hansama. Was a key part in repeatedly shutting down Hansama, actually. And Zeus was a huge part of getting rid of caps. And that was kind of the thing with T1. They found the players they needed to kill before anything else. They put Yike at low health by having Owner just sit on him and bully him and prevent him from doing any damage. They had Faker go for caps. Go for Hansama and make sure that their damage dealers were struggling. Broken Blade was getting soloed by Zeus. Guma. Oh my god, I didn't even talk about Guma. But Guma in the late game was shredding G2 apart. Pretty much the reason Owner lived is because Guma just deleted Broken Blade with his passive. And then they get the fight win. Go for the end. Almost win. Quadra kill from Hansama. If G2 pull this back, Hansama's a legend forever, man. So close. Hansama. Caps had his moments all game. Broken Blade had been huge all game. Hans had been big in this game. And Hans almost saves G2 from being down 2-0. I genuinely, at that moment, thought this series was going to be tied. They were going to get the Baron, but Faker's teleport ends this game. And oh, man. What ifs could not describe the absolute pain that G2 were just put through. And now reverse sweep is the only answer. Again, it feels like that has been a saying a lot. G2, it's the first time they've lost in 2 best of 5s now, and they got to remind themselves they can't afford to lose anymore. It's all do or die every game G2 play for the rest of this series, as they are down to their last strike. If they lose, they are out of MSI. The dashes of the LEC, or the hopes of the LEC, are dashed, as Faker would bring his team to a 3rd straight top 3 at MSI. Will T1 get their rematch with BLG, or will G2 fight back and send us to a 4th game? I will see you for game number 3. All right, welcome back. It is 2-0 T1. G2 have some work cut out for them if they want to advance to the MSI lower bracket finals, make top 3. It's been a little bit, so sorry to the 2 people who give a damn. But right into the draft. G2 on the blue side here. And getting rid of the Azir this time. Very good. I mean, Faker's still very good at it. That's a good. Actually, pretty good. And it's going to be Caps on the Tristana. This is a pick that G2 have been using pretty well to maneuver themselves through series. Like, Caps quite literally carried the PSG Talon series on this Tristana, so not a bad pickup here. And it's going to be the Kalista locked in for Guma or Keria. They do have an option to put this on Keria still if they want. And is Faker going to get the Talia? The BLG series revolved around Talia. TL knew to get rid of the Talia, and it still didn't do enough for them. T1 get Faker maybe his best pick of the tournament. I'm willing to say that. Yike going to be on Ivern. And it's going to be the Varus taken away, so this should be Kalista ADC for Guma now that Hans Sama has taken away the Varus from him. And are they going to lock a jungle, or are they going to grab their support here? And Talia Vi, very strong her mid-jungle combo. Oh my god, yeah. The flashbacks, dude. Cream has nightmares about that. Cream is having freaking nightmares. Cream and Asha having nightmares about Caps buffering every single CC perfectly. The dude, it feels like the guy literally went into the practice range and just started testing up on, like, went into a custom with one of his teammates and just started practicing how to buffer each form of each CC so perfectly. It's kind of crazy how good this guy is at it. Renata taken away from Mickey here. Would be really good into a comp that wants to go forwards. And Vayne going to be taken away from Zeus. This looks like it's going to be another Cassante angle in the top lane. But they're just going to get rid of it. Not even going to mess with it. Zeus pretty much can't really do anything with the Vayne. Otherwise, it's mostly into a Cassante pick. But what is G2 going to ban away here? They could just get rid of another top laner. Unless, I mean, what are they really afraid of? In bot lane, Nautilus? It's really it. Yeah. And they're going to get rid of Zeus's Camille. So they're going tanky in the top lane still. They kind of need to. And it's going to be the not for Keria, obviously. Sorry. But Nautilus now for Keria. This is going to be a bit of a problem for G2. This is a really good comp already locked in for T1. I don't know how I feel about the Braum. They are going to just keep... This is a kiting comp now. Which I don't think Braum does what Caps wants to do with this champion. Or what Caps wants to do with his pick on the Tristan. I think Caps really wants to be involved in the enemy team. Like, in there, at least in the face of one person. And Jax is going to be there to help Caps achieve that goal. Braum is mostly going to be here for peel purposes now. I mean, yeah. Caps is going to have to work with Broken Blade pretty well, and Yike, as Hans and Mickey are going to be playing backline for the most part, with occasional blocking from Mickey. I mean, Mickey can go forwards, absolutely, but they do need someone who is going to sit with Hans Sama and keep him alive as the Rumble locked in. And with the Vitalia Nautilus, this is actually disgusting. T1 have drafted themselves a phenomenal comp here. The only thing I could have changed is Ori, and even then, I still think Talia Vi is just, it's more worth to get the Talia Vi than it is to get Oriana with a Rumble Nautilus. It's just so good. T1 have drafted themselves into a really strong position, and G2, again, kind of draft just to catch their opponents off guard, which I don't love. I don't love the draft position G2 have put themselves in. What do you want, phone? Sorry. Phone is bothering me. See this. All right, sorry. Distractions aside. I don't love G2's comp. That's an LGD flag. They aren't even at the tournament. What is wrong with you? Like, there's straight up an LG. Why is there a Hot Sauce Gaming flag here? I went back to check because that's insane to me. That someone isn't that big of an LGD fan. They are really big in China, but like they're kind of cheeks right now. There's a reason we haven't talked about Hot Sauce Gaming in 4 years. Literally, the last international they made was Worlds 2020, I believe. It was my first World Championship. Well, it was 2019, but the first Worlds I gave a damn about. But G2 drafting their style, sometimes their style doesn't really work, though. I think G2 drafting a mix of comfort, but also to catch their opponents. I don't like when teams draft for surprise, and it feels like G2 are drafting for surprise. But obviously, again, in the same way, what was it? I mean, all the Senna Kench picks, I don't love them, but they know something's up. As over the wall, that would have been it. If Zeus knew something was up, he saw Broken Blade, obviously, but if that root connects, that could have that probably would have been first blood, at least flash. But what was it? The hell was that random draft that I just? Oh my god, that draft was terrible. But it was like it might have been the Kog'Maw Braum from Hans and Mickey, but most of the time I don't question pro players unless they really draft something completely stupid and constantly misdraft. Like, I'm trusting that G2 obviously have practiced the Braum Varus lane or having Hans play with the Braum. So they know what they're doing. They're prepared to come into this game and to smash, hopefully, or at least perform with it. As Mickey, again, doing this as they're looking to get 3 onto Faker. There's the flash follow from Mickey. And now Carrier coming down from the lane swap. Broken Blade has nowhere to go, so that's just another flash force from Faker. G2 have been doing this so well, as there's Broken Blade getting traded pretty hard, but it's not going to matter as he's not really laning for quite some time. He's not going to be laning for a while. Owner just clearing right now. Is Ivern going to go for the invade here as Broken Blade spotted out again? They need to try and send Carrier down towards the bot side, but I think Carrier's going back up towards top right now to help do turret. As there's a flash hook. Buffer that one. Caps flash for flash in the mid lane now. This light is way too bright. It does look nice on camera. My freaking eyes hurt because of it, but we'll tough it out. And now Carrier coming back up to lane. Zeus forced out, almost has the level 2. He's going to be rotating up to the top side now to help Siege. Same exact thing with G2 here. As Guma actually going to reset. And that's going to be teleport out of Broken Blade. Is they're just going to reset. All right. should be fine here, as these two are finally going to start farming. Broken Blade actually has the level advantage, and Zeus has to flash, but there's the flash of Broken Blade coming out, and this should be first blood to Broken Blade. And just one more minion. Them denying Zeus that one minion in bot lane won them this top lane fight. And Broken Blade, he's been having a bit of a rough series, so this is a nice change of pace, as he's finally going to be ahead. Has had small leads, as there's the spot onto Owner. Yike is just gonna make sure Owner backs off a little bit. Oh my god, don't talk about the 25 stack. We don't talk about, like, the 25 stack Iverns we've had over the history of Ivern being meta again. Psychopathy. But good flash for flash, obviously, by Broken Blade. Waits out the flash, obviously, before going for the Counter-Strike recast. It also does help that carrier reset just when Broken Blade was going for level, or just when Broken Blade hit level 2. It was just too perfect and really brutal, actually, for Zeus, as there's the engage onto Caps. He's just gonna get pushed back, but he's gonna win this trade with Faker. And T1, I believe, spotted, and now they're definitely spotted, as there's Owner walking over a ward, and they're taking the dragon. Goom is gonna get spotted out. Early Drake should be in their control. It is an Ivern. That's the one thing Ivern always surrenders, is first Drake. And Zeus is going to be massively ahead in CS now. But Yike is coming up. And there's Broken Blade. And they just killed Zeus here. Oh, Zeus. 2. And that's going to be a second kill solo for Zeus. Or for Broken Blade onto Zeus. My goodness. That's cursed. That's so cursed. I don't want to know what that means. That was so bad, Kobe. Well, it's a god to a top father. What? Barry's level 2. Mickey's been down here the whole time. As there's Caps getting jump onto Faker. And there's the re-engage, but there's the buffer by Caps. This guy has just been buffering spells, man. He's been practicing buffering spells. What the hell is this guy doing? This guy spent weeks buffering every form of CC in the game, I swear. And jumping in on Broken Blade. He does have the advantage, but he's just not been able to convert that into much of anything. Guma getting hit in the face. Owner will grab these early grubs. It's only about 700 in favor of G2. We've seen this already. We've seen T1 come back from pretty terrible positions, and I'm not going to count them out until G2 have a clean mid game. They have not had a clean mid game this entire series. Owner might just have to leave and split these 2-1, and Will doesn't have Smite available and isn't burning Flash for this. I need to be convinced. I need to be convinced. The same way I need to be convinced T1 was really legit entering this series because of how awful they've been playing, I need to be convinced G2 can close a game out because they haven't done it yet. They have entered with a lead into the mid game almost, I believe, both games, actually. They have entered the mid game with a lead against T1 so many times throughout MSI, and they've lost so many games. They've lost 5 games against them this year. They should have won that first series 3-1, and they honestly should be even in this series, but they absolutely blew their game 2 lead. So, prove it. I don't believe in G2. Yike should be able to clear this. I don't understand how... I use Ivern bushes, and I still don't know how they work. As there's Guma going way too far forwards. There's the Chain of Corruption going down. Ignite on Guma. Will be able to flash away to safety, but Carrier will not be as lucky. Han Sama's going to pick up this one. And G2, they have life in them. but they've had life in them every single game. Yike trying to go onto Guma. Owner going to block. Oh, well, this is depressing. This is awkward. As Yike has Daisy, and there she is. Owner needs to get away. Flash out, but Daisy's third auto. There's the cancel on the punch. But wait, the Vault Breaker's not gonna convince or not gonna go through, but it's not gonna matter. Carrier takes his kill. Faker. What is going on? Faker, what was that? Ring around the rosy with caps. That's the dumbest play ever. I love it. That was the dumbest play of all time. I love that. Faker, what was that? Greatest outplay Faker's ever done. That ring around the rosy play. Or around the mulberry bush. I don't know. What is a mulberry? So what happened? So Faker gets jumped on. The flash over, has to stun himself. And then the chase. The seismic shove is good. Blast codes. Oh my god. Faker. Outplay God. Faker hasn't leveled ulti yet. He hasn't figured he needs to. I was wondering why he didn't have ulti there. He didn't level it. They know where Guma is. They see him. Guma doesn't know they're on a ward. Guma does not know he's on a ward right now. Is he actually just waiting? Yike is just waiting for camps to come up. They'll spot him out on red buff, though. Make a clearing out vision of the Drake Pit. G2, 1,000 gold ahead. Where have I heard that one before? Yeah, where have I heard 1,000 gold lead for G2? There's just a workaround there that's for clearing purposes like that. Or, well, for attacking purposes. But Cap's able to clear this wave pretty easily. The bomb is so strong. As Broken Blade just getting burned. Zeus just... Hydra, Flame Spitter. The true top lane skill. As, oh, here comes the dive. They'll give up this turret in the bot lane. They want to dive. Broken Blade, and he dodges the Vault Breaker. Here comes Faker. There's the cease and desist onto the equalizer. That's going to be Owner picking up the shutdown onto Broken Blade. And another plating going over to Zeus and Faker. And the Void Grub started. This is what T1 wanted when they saw they were behind. Drake for Void Grub still about 1,000-ish behind. But they're getting something in return. They're going to get 5 Void Grubs. Yike going to grab a Hextech Drake. Nice for his double ADCs and triple attack speed champions. I don't know if it benefits Daisy or not. Yike snipes away the blue buff. Faker needs to be careful. There's the bomb. He's going to dodge the root, but Yike has a friend, and her name is Daisy. Yike going to get pushed backwards. Mickey stuns himself up as well. Owner tanking right now. And there's the Glacial Fissure following the Natural Fissure? I don't actually know what that's called. Root coming through. Not going to be enough. I actually want to know what that's called. I don't know what that ability, or I don't know what her ability is called. Oh. You're going to see another dive come through. Mickey's getting a bit of a laying into. Plating goes over to Mickey and Hans, though. Doesn't even have a name. Oh, it's literally called Daisy Smash. Hell yeah, Daisy. Based as hell. Holy balls, Broken Blade. Dude is fully relying on his kill lead because he is playing into a rumble. Bro is he is in Spain without the S, man. As Broken Blade spots out Owner, No flash available, but Yike is here. No friend available. There's Caps just going for the turret. He is playing Triss. He could just do that. That's a thing he could just do. Owner not even gonna hang around for too much longer. Sorry, I'm messing with myself. As do they hit Carrier here? They don't go for it. They could have tried to go for something onto Carrier. They're not going to fully commit. They are pretty ahead though. 17 CS ahead and a kill. It's pretty good. Owner dodges away. Yike going to get 2 birds. Good job. As there's the jump onto Guma. There's the hook connecting from Hansama. Or onto Hansama. Now Mickey getting a lot of damage. Guma gonna pull his ADC to safety. Here comes Caps. Or his support to safety. Sorry, Carrier, you're not the ADC. And sorry, Guma, you are the ADC. Oh, what? Owner. Equalizer gonna go down. Where's the cease and desist? Is it even gonna come through? It isn't. There's the smite. There's the final auto on the denting blows. And it works out in the end, but wasn't clean. Owner, what the hell was that? That's the second one. T1 answering back pretty well, but there's Caps coming in onto Zeus. I don't think you're gonna survive this one, buddy. Caps kills off Zeus, and he is a problem still for teams to deal with, as there's the equalizer, redemption coming down, and Carrier's already gone. Broken Blade is teleported in, and that's gonna be 1 for Hans. It's gonna be 1 for Yike, and that is G2 continue to expand their lead. And they are starting to build up a pretty good one. Broken Blade getting back into this game. Caps continuing to expand his gold advantage. And Hans expanding the gold advantage to nearly 2. And this is, oh boy. This is going to be a problem. T1 need to find a way back, but they just can't get anything here. No ulti on Carrier kind of means they can't take this fight. And Owner's just here to leave. Owner is not going to be able to do a damn thing here. So T1 need to find an answer soon. But it's going to be really hard to find one with the position they're in. Very fed Varus. Very fed, well, Caps in general. Oh? Unspotted. Broken Blade has flash here, though. There's the ulti going down. There's the equalizer going down as well. Cease and desist, and Zeus is gone. Or Broken Blade's gone. What's that? They're gonna give this for Drake, though. Oh, Faker jumps in. This is going to be the mid-wave gone. Carry a nice hook away to safety. Doesn't root his teammates either, but that's mid-turret gone. But now G2 should be able to grab the second Drake. 3,000 gold ahead. T1 need to really figure out what they're doing. Alyssa's behind. Tali is behind. You got a slightly ahead Rumble. That's about it. Gotta solve the problem. Why is there 3 stacks? Yike. Why is there 3 stacks Magi? Such a waste of money. Such a waste of money from Yike, but that's hilarious. To have only 3 stacks on your Magi. I think Yike... No, Yike has died this game. Wait, okay. No, he hasn't died. It's all Yike. Or it's all Broken Blade. Dude's getting bodied this game. They dove him twice. And vision goes down. T1 are just trying to get anything they can. They've closed the gold lead to about 2,000-ish. That's about all they got. They're still waiting to find an engage angle. Owner forced to back off there, thanks to Broken Blade just walking forwards. Faker doesn't even find anything, but he's going to get Hansama's spell shield. That's not really a win. Now, what do they do? Baron in a minute 20. I mean, that was the turning point of last game. So we did see them use the Baron to turn the game in game number 2. So maybe they go for that again. They rushed Baron, and G2 really couldn't answer, and then G2 lost the fight, and it kind of just snowballed from there for T1 somehow. I don't see it happening this game. I think G2 are more prepared for them to do it, and are really in the strong position, just in such a stronger position compared to T1 that it's not really possible for them to do this. As they've committed onto Zeus here. Zeus just throwing down the equalizer, and that's going to be Caps picking up that one there. Daisy going hard in the paint. But no chase coming through now. So the bomb going to go off. It actually waits. I would not be shocked. That Rift Herald's coming down now, though. 4v5 for T1. This is not good. Broken Blade caught out. Maybe that's their angle, and they're going to get down Broken Blade, but they're going to get Carry in response. Mickey going forwards, but Carry's actually going to be able to run away here. And now Mickey just tanking so much. Eventually, Carrier falls. Guma running. He got hit by the Winter's Bite, and this turret's going to fall instead of Guma. And Caps going to pick up this bot tier 2. It is just dangerous for T1 right now. 5,000 gold almost in their favor at this moment. As Yike dodges away. He's going to get slowed. Going to continue to get chased here. I don't see Faker going for this any further. Gets the flash out of Yike. That's about all he can grab as Caps going to continue to go forwards. There's the flash. The bomb. Oh, nice Knight's Vow. But now he's going to get out. Caps TPs to safety. All the summoners burn, but who cares? Escape artist. And just being alive is so huge when you're 500 gold, now when you're an 800 gold kill. And you're just the leader of your team. It is so valuable just to keep that guy alive. That is so much pressure. It all starts really well for T1. They get Broken Blade, but they have to burn so much to get him. Okay, what kills Carrier? Did he get the door? Did he get Winter's Bite on him? Because he's running. Oh, he does hit. Oh, Flash Ignite. Good job, Mickey. Owner able to get away. Carrier not so lucky. And 1-for-1 is not going well. That is Yike going over the wall. T1 are in a 5v2 right now. 4v2. As here comes Guma Yushi. That's 1 for Faker. And it's a 2-for-1 right now. Oh, Hansama's doing a lot of damage. The flash from... Ooh, the flash out of Guma. There, good force. Hansama will grab a mana or upgrade to a Mora mana. These 3 items. Guma's 1.5 right now. 3-0-3. And T1, how the heck did they get this? They both spot each other, which is very stupid. Double sweeper spotting. And then Yike has to go over the wall. And then Carry just instantly cancels Hex Flash, obviously. And goes in. And the Equalizer comes down. That's hitting 3 members. That's Mickey in exchange... Yeah, that's Mickey and Yike in exchange for... Carry is not a bad trade. I think T1 would be willing to take that. And now... Still 5,000, but it's slightly more in their favor. That's a lot of damage onto Mickey, and I'm lying because he has the shield up. That shield is so good. It's a giant door. A giant magical door. I mean, I don't blame him. Wouldn't be shocked if it blocked a lot of damage. Carry just has all the kills from Guma. It's like the big issue here is Guma has no kills because Carry has 2. Has 1. The other one was a kill with Owner. And Owner's here. If Caps wants to step forwards, I think he can escape, though. Oof, 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 oof. Faker's 2 items. He's kind of keeping pace with Caps, but Caps is still very ahead. 30 or 28? 29 CS ahead? No. 39 CS ahead. I always make sure I do my math right. So, just the CS diffs are huge in mid and bot lane right now. Mickey's just able to go forwards right now. He's so tanky, and the threat of Caps is so much. Owner's just standing here. Owner? Are they going to collapse him? He's not going to go for it. He's holding. Zeus can't go for it. Zeus had to answer wave. Owner's going to play in this top brush still. Playing so safe as Baron started by G2. And the Drake goes, ward down. They know what's up. And Owner's all the way around. He's wrapped all the way around. G2 are backing out. Owner's finally spotted out. BB in bot side right now. And Faker's going to answer. Not that hard of an answer for Faker. Yike going to clear out this ward. Caps going to clear out a ward as well. And G2 are back on the Baron. They have so much damage. So much sustain, so much damage. Zeus. All right. Do they know? And they're going to reset it again. It's good for T1 to keep threatening this because as long as they can stall out G2, it's more time. It's more time for G2 to get stalled out. As there's a good block from Carry, and Carry's just going to give his life. Good Fate's call, actually. And this could be crucial. That is a key spell down for T1. G2 still just positioning around it. They can eventually force. If they keep getting defensive plays out of T1, they keep wasting their time, they'll eventually grab something. Owner's on this. They know? They swept yet? No sweepers available. They know Owner's finally reset. Faker grabbing anti-heal. Going to be really big. He's probably the easiest spreader of anti-heal besides Zeus on his team. So, it'd be a really big deal for them to grab that. Caps can just push in so easily. 3-item Tristana. And the Kraken Slayer just makes it so easy to wipe out waves. 5,000 ahead. But remember how this series has been. One fight is all it takes in this phase of the game. We've entered the late game. This phase, one fight is all you need to win this series, T1. But it's not going to be an easy fight win. Hans and Caps are ready to throw down. They want T1 to walk into them, to fight them. Yike is going to be so problematic for him to deal with. And Drake is coming up too. They could just go for the soul here. And T1 need to answer pretty much. There's no choice. T1 need to answer. Glacial Fissure down. As Caps has been locked down. There's the wall. He's going to buffer, but there's the cease and desist on him. He needs to get the bomb off now, but it's not going to happen. The seismic shove will get the kill to Zeus. And now Yike is in the middle of it all, but Zeus flashing forwards with the danger zone Q. And that's a double for Zeus. It's a double for Guma. It's Broken Blade all alone. And T1 find G2 misstepping, disrespecting the best in the world. And T1 get the Baron off of it. G2, what are you doing? Why do you throw Glacial Fissure there? Why is Caps that far forwards? You don't need to fight yet. You can wait for Drake. You could have forced them to walk into you in the river, but they don't. And T1 kill it in the team fight. I said it only takes one, and this game is back in T1's hands. Look at this. Why is Caps here? Why is he there? His whole team is peeled back. His buffers are good, but you can't risk getting hooked from the darkness. You can't see. I mean, they could see, actually. But it's just not enough. Carrier in the wall. And this game is back to 400 gold apart. The Drake Soul will go over to G2, but it's sieging time for T1. It is time for them to get so much of this gold back as they're finally in the lead. They have not been in the lead. If they have been, it's not been for long, but they're finally in the lead in this game. There's the jump onto Yike, and it's not gonna be long for him to die. Killing spree for Faker. And Faker on this Talia has been so damn good. And there's a reason BLG took it out of his hands. G2 already losing 3,300 gold on this Baron power play. On this Baron buff. And it's going to go to 4,000. It is disaster for G2. The mid game went well, but the late game is where they crumble. And now G2 are in desperation mode. 1,000 gold behind, still a minute to go on the Baron buff. They need to answer T1 or their international run is over. And it will be the end of them at MSI at the hands of T1 again. Another year where they fall to a Korean team. Actually, I believe last year was, I don't even remember who the hell eliminated them last year. It had to be BLG. And there's just nothing. As there goes the wall. Faker just going to separate him. Faker jumps off on a weird angle, and he's just going to hit Mickey with it. It's not going to change too much. And Broken Blade going to try and grab top lane here. Maybe threaten T1 back. But the Equalizer going to put a stop to that plan. So Zeus no ulti right now. But that's about it. G2 will be able to at least get some pressure back on the map. It's not completely lost, but it is a game where you were up 6,000 gold. You're now down 1k. T1 hadn't led the entire game. G2 had kept them to minimal gold leads off of CS, and now this game has fallen to chaos. 3 minutes is likely going to be the final fight of this game. No matter who wins it, there is more than enough time on these death timers to finish off the bases. They have enough health to tank. They have enough damage to shred it. G2 don't really have an angle anymore. Their whole angle was they were massively ahead. Now, Faker's pretty much even with Caps. And with Deathcap coming up for Faker, this is going to be huge. Guma is a problem now. Even though he's still behind Hansama, that is a 3-item Kalista who's rushing, or who's 4th-iteming a GA. You do not want to deal with a GA'd Kalista. And now this is a pretty tanky owner. Frozen Heart finished. The triple AD carries of G2 are finally going to come back to haunt them, as the Frozen Heart's going to be a massive problem for them to deal with. Especially someone like Hans, who's pretty much relying on Hail of Blades. G2 have found a losing position. And there it is. Death cap for Faker. Stats-wise, he is so ahead now. It doesn't really matter if LDR comes through or whatever Caps wants here. Could be LDR. Probably going to be, I would imagine it's Sorelda's? No, it is LDR. Okay. Like, it's either LDR or Sorelda's. You're not building freaking Mortal Reminder at this point. Not until next patch. Or not until current patch comes up, where LDR is absolutely piss useless. So bad now. LDR is just straight cheeks. Ardent Sensor's going to make this actually really good, though. Ardent Sensor might offset the Frozen Heart. As there's the jump in onto Mickey. Mickey has no shield, and Mickey's gone. Carrier wins support or combat. And teleport now from Broken Blade coming in. Carrier able to continue going forwards. He's full health. And now a minute before Elder, 45 seconds before Baron. G2 have to surrender positioning as Broken Blade able to get away from the hook from Carrier. As they're looking for caps, but they're not going to get it. Owner not spotted, but not taking any chances. 26 seconds on Baron. 40 till Elder Drake now. T1 are fully in the driver's seat. 1,500 gold ahead in this late game, forcing the flash out of Yike already. The defensive tools for G2, much like they were supposed to be whittled away from T1 previously before starting Baron, they are being whittled away from G2 caps. Good jump buffer. But now they actually start the Baron. They could get this. As there's the wall coming in. Zeus waiting for the equalizer, throwing it into the pit. Yike is going to fall. They're going to get Faker. But is it going to matter? Baron gets stolen by Owner. It's 2 for Zeus. And G2 are finished at MSI. It's a double for Zeus, a double for Guma. And Owner picks up 1 for himself. Guma gets the ace. They get the Baron. And from 6,000 gold behind, G2 have surrendered this lead. They have flubbed the game. And they're going home early. T1 rematch BLG in lower bracket finals as they are looking to go back to top 2. They want grand finals. They want their first MSI trophy since 2017. And for G2, the dreams are over because they're living in Faker's reality now. It was on the back of some great plays from Faker, on the back of Zeus and Owner finding incredible combos together. And now it is all for naught. G2, an incredible run through the lower bracket, almost had a date with BLG instead, but they fell short 1 game early. And they almost had a good shot. People believed that they could get the run back, but it just wasn't meant to be in the end. And T1 finished the job here, and they're going to send G2 home early. And we are not going to see G2 even out the best of 5 score with T1. It will be 4-2 in T1's favor. G2 put up I was going to say phenomenal, but I meant to say valiant because they put up a valiant effort at this tournament. G2, I know it is disappointing for them to go home this early because they had aspirations of the MSI championship. It was maybe the best they've looked in years. But sadly for them, this is the end of the road for them because it is heartbreaking for G2. I was not expecting this to be 3-0. I was at least hoping G2 got a game off, or whoever lost the series was going to get a game off, because these two teams just, when it comes, like, T1 looked so shaky entering today, and they brought it to another level against G2. Like, they brought it to another level that we weren't really expecting because they were just so shaky entering this series, but they got it. And for G2, obviously they were playing as best they could. They had the advantage in every single game. They had the advantage, and they were so close, but they misstepped one too many times. The caps overextension, which just ended this game pretty much. It is, yes, obviously a horrible, horrible mistake, but those are moments where it's like, obviously, I know where Caps was going. He's saying, I gotta clear out these last 2 minions in the wave so we can get push and rotate into the river, but just didn't. And that is kind of how this is how it's gonna go down. A 3-0 feels really odd because of how close this series was. Each game was so narrow and pretty much was one fight away from going in G2's favor. Literally 2 autos. I said 3 during game 2, but it was 2 autos away from being a smash in game number 2, and then Hansama saves the game just for it to be ruined. And I really, as a resident G2 hater, I am so tired of G2 being this dominant, but it is always so good because it's like a love-hate relationship. I hate seeing them dominate the LEC, but then they come to internationals, and sometimes you see that spark in them, and this is one of those times where it's like, it was really close, and it was so, so good from them until it just fell apart at one spot. You could just say, this is where the game flipped, and it hurts because G2 played really good. Like, they were actually doing really well. Again, they always bring it to another level against T1, and they were doing so well for themselves, and it was so close, and it absolutely sucks that it has to end in 3 games instead of 4 or 5, and the last time, but also, to be fair, the last time was kind of the warning. G2 got their act together, and then the second one did not happen, and the rematch, T1 were way too ready for G2 to do their thing and be G2 and try and draft off meta because they can and do their little strategies that work for them specifically. And T1 were too ready. They played really clean mid and late games and were ready to punish G2 at any step because they knew they had to kill them early. Because if they didn't, G2 were going to get rolling. And T1 were ready, and now they're going to their 3rd straight top 3 finish. They've secured their 3rd straight top 3 finish at MSI. It is insanity for T1 going from barely can beat Team Liquid in a clean series to sweeping G2, but not like clean definitive wins, at least in games 1 and 3. So there's hope this is actually a legit series tomorrow compared to the trading of stomps that was BLG versus T1 in the upper bracket semis. And I'm really hoping I'm really hoping that we get a really good series tomorrow. And of course, Grand Finals is really good. Congrats to G2. I always try to be really nice to, of course, the eliminated teams because they obviously are working hard and there's usually something that you can say about them. And G2, they balled out today, but it just wasn't enough. They didn't ball hard enough. T1 were ready, and T1 were very hungry and eager to prove themselves because of the terrible showings against BLG and TL. They were fueled by, we got to make this one look good, and they did. And, well, that's how the cookie crumbles. Should have been a 3-2. Man, should have went to Silver Scrapes. It would have been so hype. But that is it for today for the Kimchi Cast. I have been your host, Box Kimchi. Have a good whatever time of day it is. Good morning, night, evening. I don't really care which one it is, any of them, because this is a video, not a stream, so I don't need to say goodnight today. But tomorrow, Billy Gaming take on T1 in the rematch, the second rematch, to determine, will we see a best-on-best Grand Finals rematch, or will we see a rematch of the LCK Finals? And it's going to matter a lot because the winner takes on Gen G for the MSI Championship, which is so weird to say that, but it feels like we barely even have gotten started, but we're finally at the end. So, I might see you tomorrow. I did mention that I don't know if I'm on tomorrow. I'm kind of busy, so we'll see. But I'm definitely here on Sunday for the Grand Finals. So, I am Bice Kimchi. I will see you maybe tomorrow for more MSI action. We'll see, but I'll definitely see you Sunday for more MSI action.